Good evening. Tonight I am going to be walking you through some of the technology tools that we are going to be using for our Westward Expansion, California Gold Rush, Manifest Destiny, Oregon Trail lesson. Okay, so the first technology integration source we are going to be using in the lesson will be after we read the chapter regarding Westward Expansion, and it's just going to be 3 different YouTube videos. One of them is going to be John Green's Crash Course U.S. History video talking about the Westward Expansion. Then it's going to be another video regarding Westward Expansion, but it's mainly going to focus on the Oregon Trail, why people were wanting to move towards the west, what is so memorable about the Oregon Trail. And then the final one is just touches base on the California Gold Rush, why it was so memorable, and what it did for the United States during this time period. One of the main technology resources we are going to be using for our lesson is the Oregon Trail online video game. And I have a link here, but if you guys are unable to access the link or anything, all you have to do is just go to your search bar and type in the Oregon Trail game. And it is, misspelled it. And it's going to be this one right here, the first one right here. And the screen will pop up whenever you click on it. You'll select play game. Let it load. Okay, I do apologize for whichever reason now. The first link that pops up is not working. However, the second one down here works just as fine. So students can choose between this one and this one. So the point of the Oregon Trail game is to help students kind of get a little bit of an experience as to what people faced as they were traveling on the Oregon Trail. This information will be beneficial to their journal entry project at the end of the unit. But right now, this is just kind of a little, I don't want to necessarily say research, but a little bit of like an on-hand research to kind of live through and see what these people may have experienced as they were traveling towards the west. So there's different options when you start up the game: travel the trail, learn about the trail, see the trail, and then different setting options. If you want to learn a little bit about the trail you're facing, you'd select 2. I'm guessing that the Oregon top 10 are maybe the top 10 players that have played the game. And then we can just go ahead and get started. You are gonna have to use the actual keyboard in the game, as the actual keyboard on the computer will not work. So let's start heading west. So it's going to give you different options. You can be a banker, a carpenter, or a farmer. And if you're unsure which choice might be the best for you, it'll even give you a little in-depth explanation of what each one is. We're going to select a carpenter from Ohio. Then it's going to have you enter the names of everybody on your party. Once all of the names are entered, you'll select yes for it being correct. Then you're going to get to choose when you want to leave. And then if you're unsure, you can ask it for advice. And it'll kind of give you a little bit of background information regarding each month, so you can kind of finalize your decision. We're going to leave in May, right at the start of spring. Then it tells you how much money you have. Right now we have $800, but that does vary depending on which career you choose. Then you're going to go to the store and buy the supplies you need for the trip. This is also beneficial to students as it can help them with budgeting and prioritizing things. Once you have all of the stuff you need and your remaining money left, you can go ahead and start on the trail. Okay, so then from there, every day will go by and you'll be able to select different things. If you are at a store, you can buy more supplies. If you come across other settlers, you can talk to them, and you can attempt to trade with them. If it's maybe raining or, people are feeling tired in your party, they can rest. You can even go in, as you can see here, it says rations are filling. You can even go in, if you start running low on food, you can change how much everybody is eating to make the food last longer. That does affect everybody's health, though. Right now we're going at a steady pace. If you think that they're moving too slow, you can even change it to faster and faster pace. And if you're unsure what each pace means, you can find out what each pace it means. You can check on your supplies to see how much you have every day. Look at the map to see where you're at. As of right now, we're not really far. We've barely even started the journey. And once you've checked everything that you've wanted to check, you can just continue on your trail and go today. And here we are on the second day. The weather is now hot. Everybody's health is good. And you can just kind of go from there. And eventually things will start getting interesting and the trail will start becoming harder. Another tool we will be using is the National Geographic Mapmaker, and this is just so students can physically see and visualize more just exactly where the people were exploring on the Oregon Trail. So what you're going to do is you're going to press this open map button down here, and under the categories over here, you're going to scroll all the way down to United States history. Scroll down just a little bit till you see the Oregon Trail. And here we are, starting off right about Kansas City in Missouri. Then they go up through Kansas, into Nebraska, Wyoming, Idaho, and up until they're in Oregon. But this is just so students can see exactly where they go, what rivers they crossed, which mountains they went through. So when they are writing their journal entries, they can kind of use the landmarks around them to maybe describe experiences that happened. Maybe a wheel broke, or something with the wagon broke when crossing the Rocky Mountains, or you guys got in too deep at a river and they lost some supplies. Just little things like that that can help them create their journal entries. And the last thing that we will be using is this Padlet. And what it is I have created an Oregon Trail journal. And this is going to be where students are posting their journal entries for the Oregon Trail. Right here we see collections of Oregon Trail journal entries. And, every hypothetical day that these students are writing for the journal entries, they will just post it. I have a few examples. Date 1, May 15th, 1850. Dear Diary, today we left our home to move west. Mom and Dad felt it was best for us. Day 2, July 7th, 1815. Dear Diary, so far the travel has been decent. Grandma got sick and her wagon wheel broke. Good thing Pa knows how to fix them. Oregon Trail Journal, Day 3, September 4th, 1815. Dear Diary, it is my birthday. Yada yada. They are going to be doing more in-depth journal entries, and it is going to be 5 in total. But this is just so they can kind of write about the experience that people may have had and kind of gain a sense of empathy, but also get the creative juices flowing. And I will also have students respond to each blog post as their Oregon Trail traveler character. So somebody else may respond and be like, we also just left on the Oregon Trail. This is what we are traveling with. And just kind of interact and kind of do a little bit of historical role playing. I just feel like that'll really help students understand what these people really went through on the Oregon Trail and kind of understand why people were so eager to move to the West, and that it just wasn't something they did sporadically. They didn't just decide to pack everything up and go on this risky adventure for nothing. And that is all of the technology tools we will be using for our Manifest Destiny Westward Expansion Oregon Trail lesson.